Hi everybody, I'm here to talk to you about your final exam, which is going to be a passion project. What that means is I want you to do this project about something that you actually want to do it about. So let's take a look at it, right? So this is going to be your final exam in my class. It's going to give you either an A, an S, or an F grade, okay? Not a percentage. It's going to be affecting also your quarter grade, in that if you do a really good job on this, then you could see your quarter grade going up as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the details here. This is your passion project description document here, which is going to be posted on Google Classroom in the classwork tab. So up here it says, can I work with somebody? No, you can't. You have to work on your own. I want everyone to do this themselves. When's it due? May 25th is the last day that you can turn anything in, because I still have to grade all that stuff and put in your grades. That's only like a couple days before grades are due. So if you can turn it in by then, you'll be good to go. Before you get started, though, you'll see in bold here it says you need to have your question approved before you can begin, right? So we're going to talk more about what that question is and what the topic is and everything like that. So you have to have the beginning of the project approved by me before you can get started. And then you're welcome to check in as often as you like. Just like it says here, you can turn it in early if you want. You can always revise it if you turn it in early. And then is it graded? So sort of, like I was saying before, you are going to get an A, S, or F. I want this to be something that you want to do. I want you to be motivated to do your best work and to try your best. So you know that that's kind of what A is, and S means you've done satisfactorily, so like you're trying, and then F is really like you did nothing. So as long as you're trying to show some growth and you're trying to put forth some good effort, you should be doing well on this project. Should be a pretty good way for you to get a nice, easy grade. So what can you make the project about? It can literally about anything. You can make it about anything you want. It has to be cleared by me first. Your project must follow the following parameters. That's like the guidelines for the project. That's these three things. There must be a question, it must involve research, and you must share it. So let's take a look at what that means. So there must be a driving question. You need to be able to communicate what you want to learn about. It is useful if your topic leads to an experiment or something that you have to research. This question and your topic need to be approved by me, Mr. Baumann. I recommend that you get it approved by me no later than this Friday, May the 8th. It's currently Monday. Right now, Monday, May 4th, 5, 6, 7, 8. That feels like whatever. Okay. If I can find the answer to your question on Google just by typing it in, then that's probably a pretty bad question, and we shouldn't be looking at that one, right? So let's think about what kind of questions you can be asking. So you can see there's a lot of different ways that you can ask these questions. So if you ask questions that require sufficient and ample empirical or experimental evidence to answer, right? So if you're asking a question that requires me to gather some data from doing some kind of an experiment, then that's probably a decent question, unless it's already been run many times and the answer is clear and it's on the internet, right? Ask questions that arise or come from careful observation of phenomena or careful observation of things that happen. That's what phenomena is, right? Models or unexpected results to clarify and or seek information, right? So if you're looking for clarity, looking to seek something new, that's a good way to do that. Or you're looking to think about why does something happen or what caused something to happen. Careful observation of things that happen, right? Ask questions to identify or to clarify evidence and or the premise of an argument. So like, what's this about? Ask questions to determine relationships between independent and dependent variables. So like, if I change this thing, what happens to this thing? And relationships in models. Okay, so models, there's lots of good ones out there that we use every day. The weather report is one, right? So like, what do we think is going to happen? Well, we project these models of like how fronts and systems are going to move, and that's how weather is kind of broadcast and predicted. So it's only one of the things that's modeled. For those of you who did snow cover for your climate change project, it's also a big modeling thing. There's lots and lots and lots of models. There's like literally models for everything. We run them for everything all the time. There's even one running for COVID, right? Like what could the infection rate be and who's it going to affect, things like that. Ask questions to clarify and or refine a model, an explanation, or an engineering problem, right? So like maybe you're looking to build a bridge over a canyon. That's an engineering problem. Like, how would you solve that problem? Ask questions that can be investigated within the scope of the classroom, which is at home, outdoor environment, museums, other public facilities, with available resources, and when appropriate, frame a hypothesis based on observations and scientific principles. So coming up with some kind of hypothesis. I think this might happen based on what I've seen, right? I have some information to back it up. I want to investigate it. Define A design problem that can be solved through the development of an object, tool, process, or system that includes multiple criteria and constraints, including scientific knowledge. So like you want to come up with some new way to do something, right? A new product, a new idea, a new solution to a problem. And then there's the last one, ask questions that challenge the premise of an argument or the interpretation of a data set. So you're like, I'm not sure if this information is being interpreted correctly. I would like to suggest there's an alternative solution. Okay, so those are all options you can use. The reason I spent 5 minutes explaining them is because I wanted you to kind of hear my words. So if you're kind of struggling and you're not sure how to start, I was just trying to clarify that for you. Okay, next, the project must involve research. You should be able to give me the resources that you use to come up with your answer or to set up your project, right? So I provided a hyperlink here to this list that Ms. Tootin gave me that are some sources that you can usually find that are going to be okay to use. If it's on here, it's probably good. If it's not on there, you probably should talk to me about it, right? And yeah, I'm going to ask you to share me your sources. Okay? All right, so next thing. This project must be shared. So how do you share this? You get to decide. So some methods that I think are doable would be like Google Slides presentation, make a video, make a documentary, write a research paper. You could even get more creative than that if you wanted to. You could come up with like your own way to share it if you like. If you have other suggestions or you'd like to try something else, just bring that up with me and we'll try to figure out if we can make that happen. So I want this to be kind of open to you to come up with a plan for how you want to share your project and the results or the question or all that stuff so that you feel comfortable to do that. Okay? That's pretty much the whole thing. All I'm going to ask is for that final shared document to include your sources, a full list of all your sources where you got everything from. If you're going to write a paper or you're going to do slides, I would like you to cite your resources like you did in your climate change project. Okay, and then here's some example projects down here. These are not choices, right? Like you don't have to choose one of these. You don't have to pick one. Feel free to create your own, right? These are just some ideas that I made up or that I stole from other places that I saw that people did projects kind of like this. Okay, so the idea is you basically have the rest of the school year to come up with a project that has to do with a question that you want to answer. And you get to pick what that question is, and you get to pick what that topic is, and you get to choose how the project goes, what it's about, how you share it. You get to choose all of that stuff, okay? I want this to be something that you want to do. So if there's a topic that you actually like or care about that we can do a project on, let's do it, okay? It doesn't have to be something that I came up with. You're welcome to do it on your own. Now, sharing this idea with me, right? You need to give me what is your topic? What is your question going to be? And then we can go from there. If you're not really sure what question you want to ask, but you have a topic you're interested in, let's talk about it. Okay? I'm available all the time. You can email me. You can message me, whatever. I'm going to host some Google Hangouts. That's why I keep looking down and see my time, right? So host some Google Hangouts, some stuff like that you can pop in. We can talk about some ideas. Maybe you can talk to some classmates during that time about it as well. If you want me to, I could set up a class like Flipgrid board for you guys to kind of like share your ideas and talk about them together. That way you have some feedback from other people if you would like it. But otherwise, we're pretty much done here. So this has hopefully helped you guys to see kind of what this final project is all about. And I'm excited to kind of see what you guys put out there. You ready to create something cool?